Hey, welcome to the Sons on Vinyl show, the only show in parallel universes that will make your fucking ears bleed. My name, as always, is Phil Bowyer, and the dude sitting next to me is none other than Mike Svensson, lead singer extraordinaire, singer for bands past, present, future, and owner of the official Sons on Vinyl record store. That's right. What's going on?
Right. Oh, it's going quite good actually. Summertime here in Sweden. Not that hot actually. I know that you got yourself in a
Yeah,
pickle
we're
with.
we're in the 100 million degree range. We're just
Ah,
yeah. I mean, I was reading this article about how in Arizona it's so freaking hot that the emergency rooms down there are flooded with people that have fallen on the ground and gotten like third-degree burns because the
oh my
asphalt is so hot. It's like just under the temperature of boiling water. And
Jesus.
so people are getting all these burns and stuff from just the heat and all the heat exhaustion. It's like it's insane here in the United States. It's
My
stupid.
God.
Yeah.
Shit.
But back in the studio in the basement where it's a little bit cooler
Yeah.
after the big flood a couple months ago, where
Damn.
we got it all cleaned up. So we're back down here now, having some
Right.
fun. We got some booze in the back in case we get thirsty. So
Nice.
there you go.
Cool, man.
So
Well, yes. Oh,
what's the go ahead.
yeah. I was thinking about maybe we should. Well, I don't know. No, let's move along. Let's talk about because I had something, but
You're gonna
I'll
save
keep
it
that.
for later?
Yeah, I will save it for later.
Save it for
So
later.
save it later. You mentioned that I got a record store. Well, I do.
Yeah.
I do own a record store, and it's great. Everybody should own a record store, I think.
Everybody should get one.
Yeah,
Get your own record store.
the
Go to
Sounds of Vinyl.
getyourownrecordstore.com and
Oh
sign up
yeah,
now.
Mike will teach you how to do
Yes.
it,
How to do it.
dude. Hard work, but it's good stuff. The Sounds of Vinyl record store in Malmo, Sweden. If you're in the well, if you're in Malmo, in Sweden, and
Yeah.
if you're not in Arizona getting
Yeah.
burns, or if you're not in Idaho in the hundreds, you can go to
Yes.
Sweden
Yeah.
because we're in the 70s, so it's much cooler
Oh,
here. Yeah,
that's so nice. That's
yeah,
so
it is.
nice.
It is.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, going strong for like 4 months right now, and it's a treat, man. Listen to vinyl records on Thursday between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. and on Saturdays between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. And I'm there, Krusegatan 23 in Malmo, and free coffee, um, free stories,
Free stories.
free stories. I got a lot
Nice.
of people coming in and want to share their stories when they were our age, growing up in the 80s, discovering all the stuff. I got a customer. He's a bit older than us, and he told me this crazy story. Remember, did I tell you about the time he said when I interviewed Joe Strummer? What? You did what? Yeah, from the Clash. He was at a hotel, and we got into. I had his little fanzine, so we're we're at his hotel room, eating cheese sandwiches and drinking booze and whatnot, hanging around. So into the wee hours. Oh my god!
Wow.
And all of a sudden, remember? Did I tell you when I took the bike to another hotel to meet the Ramones? Stop it right now! What the fuck, man? Yeah, they were playing a small club down the street. Those are the stories my customer comes with,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Hey, and if you go into Mike's store and you have a story, go to the website and tell us all about it. Okay. Go to sonsonvinyl.com. You can leave us a message. We'll get that up on there. And even if you're nowhere near Mike's record store and you have a story like that to tell, drop it over there. We'll listen to it. We'll have a good time and we'll share some stories because honestly, that's what music's all about.
Yeah,
It's getting together, it's the stories, it's all the good fun
yeah,
stuff. And I think
yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, it is fun because not only to get time do I get to meet a lot of great people, but the stories that we have in common, even though there are some age differences between. I mean, there is a couple of young people that come into the store like they're around like 20. I mean, they're discovering vinyl record as we speak, but it's like the same music. I mean, they dig Judas Priest, they go in for Ozzy, they go in for Dio, Kiss, and whatnot, and that sort of like leaves us in talking about the experience that I have growing up, right in smack in the middle of it all, and them discovering it right now,
Hmm.
being record fans and vinyl record fans, and just discovering this media and listen to their stories, how they had uh, a dad or a mom or an aunt or a cousin or whatever that show them all this good stuff, and they thought, well, fuck me, that's the greatest thing ever, holding a vinyl record in my hand, and just listen to it, and reading the lyrics and whatnot. So it's a dawning of a new age.
It is.
It is.
Yes.
So come by the store, or like Phil just told you, leave us a message on soundsofvinyl.com. We'd love to hear your stories.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get it on the
Yes.
show in your voice and
Ooh,
everything.
and
That's right.
everything.
All right. Should we dive into this week's record?
We should. We
Now,
should.
there's a big hint in the background today.
Yes.
And if you can tell what it is, it's one of the last records that Ronnie James Dio did with Sabbath. Live Evil.
There we
There you
go.
go.
The original one
Hmm.
looks like this. It's a beauty.
It's a beauty.
There we go. I love
I was going
this.
to open it up there.
Gatefold.
Yeah.
Gatefold. Loving it.
Yeah.
It's the gatefold right there.
Beauty, eh?
See? See? Mm-hmm. There we go. Live Evil.
Live Evil.
All right.
Yes. So they just released a box set version of
Oh
this,
yeah.
which is like what, two or three different recordings
Yeah.
of
And it cost a
on the tour.
gazillion. No,
Yeah.
but
It's
it
$100
feels
million. It's a dollar for every degree of heat in Arizona. So that's just
it goes for like between, depending on where you are, around $100 to $120.
jeez.
Yeah, you see.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess it's the next best thing since you can't go see Sabbath live anymore.
Yes,
So I guess
it is.
these old recordings with Dio are gonna
Yeah.
have to suffice. But we're gonna go through the original today. We're gonna go through the
Yes.
original release because we can, and that's what we're gonna do.
Because we
Because we
can.
make the fucking rules, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what we're gonna do, right? That's
Yes.
what it is.
And if we don't like the rules, we'll fucking break them.
Yes. Yes.
You see?
Because that's what rules are for. They're to be
Yes.
broken. All right, first song, track 1, E5150.
Yes.
Now, here in the United States and California in particular,
Mhm.
there is a code, and it's 5150. Van Halen also did a record called 5150. That
Yeah.
is code for mental patient. So that's
Oh.
what I always think of whenever I see this E5150 is mental
Oh,
patient.
jeez.
But the song itself has nothing to do with mental patient.
Oh,
It
what a
was it
bummer.
was it was an interesting way though to kick off the show, to ease into the show, I thought.
Yeah.
with it's got the keyboards going on, which you don't usually associate with Sabbath, more so with the Dio era and the beyond.
Yeah.
There's a little more keyboard influence in there, but um, yeah. So yeah.
I think it's a brave way to start a show, because uh, if you listen to some bands, they start out with a big bang and that's it, and then
Mhm.
they slow down in a couple of songs. I mean, they ease into it with the
Yes.
song. So
Yes.
I think I mean, it's a super group, if you know what I mean. So they can do whatever the fuck they want.
They could do whatever they
Yeah.
want. Track 2 goes right into Neon Nights.
I mean, does it get any better than this? I mean, come on.
Yes, it does.
Jeez.
I'm one of the few guys that's not really a big fan of the song.
Oh,
In
fuck
fact,
you.
I think if it wasn't for Ronnie James Dio singing it, it would be it'd be so. It's not that it's a bad song. It's just
Can I say boo?
sure.
Boo.
Yeah. Yes.
I fucking dig this song. Neo Nights, man. I mean, Ronnie's voice in this. Oh no, here it comes again. I mean,
Now,
my
one
God.
thing about this one though is that a lot of times when you see a band play live,
Yeah,
the guitar solos don't match what's on the record. And I know for a lot of people, that's great. That's why you go see a live show. For
yeah,
me, I it bugs me when they don't. And in this song, they actually stuck to it.
yeah,
So I like that it was very close to what was on the record. So I
yeah.
will say that about the song. It was,
Oh, but how can you deny? Oh no, here it comes again. No.
I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, man. It doesn't hit.
Oh
It just doesn't hit. I
man,
don't know, man.
just go out in the heat.
Blame it on the heat.
Blame it on it.
It's all the heat.
He's all in the heat.
Oh yeah. It is
Yeah,
what it is, man.
it is
It
what it
is what
is.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Ronnie Dio definitely makes that song worth listening to, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, then we get into NIB. We go into the Aussie era Sabbath,
Yeah.
one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, interesting to hear Dio sing it.
It is.
Um,
That's one way to put it. Interesting.
and I always thought, and everybody I've talked to about this thinks I'm freaking weird about this, but I always thought it had like a late 50s feel to it, like the original.
Mm-hmm.
And with Ronnie singing this, having experience singing the doo-wop stuff back then, he
Yeah.
really gave this song a whole new something.
Yeah.
It's still classic Sabbath. It's still good stuff, but he gave it that something that Ozzy couldn't do, and it's almost like it's a different song. It With that said, it does sound like it's a cover song. It
Yeah.
does not sound like
Yeah.
it's Black Sabbath to
No.
me, and
It,
that's a
it
theme with all the Ozzy era stuff. I
yeah.
think.
It's funny that you mentioned. I mean, Dio and Tony together, because when you hear Dio sing, it feels effortless. I mean, he doesn't struggle. And I remember hearing an interview with Tony Iommi, and said, so the difference between Ozzy and Dio is that when he heard Dio sing, it was sort of like, oh my god, so it could be this easy too. So because he sings like, if you throw things at Dio, he could sing it. Tony
Mhm.
said in a different way that Ozzy could. So you could do more things with Dio's voice than you could with Ozzy. But I agree with you. Hearing the classic Sabbath stuff, where Ozzy normally sings, it's sounds like a cover song.
Yeah.
But he does some. It's not that you want to go, ooh. damn, ugh. It's more like, this is interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know
it's not that it's bad.
No,
It's like it's a really good cover. It's,
it is.
you
It
know,
is.
it's kind of that's my
Yeah,
take on it. Yeah.
yeah, it,
Children of the Sea.
yeah.
Great song.
It is a really great song. Um, I think. I mean, listen to I I listened to this album. I mean, when I bought it back in the day, it was sort of like on repeat. Me and a couple of friends used to go to one another's house because we couldn't afford buying albums, all of us. So it sort of like became that thing that you do when you don't have any money, that you go with your cassette tape. And I
Mhm.
was fortunate enough to own this one. Um, um, I bought it with my own money. So um, every time I listen to this, it takes me back. And today, when Ronnie is not here anymore, it's sort of like it's a statement to what he was capable of. I
Mhm.
think so. This, I mean, listen to you can listen to a studio album. I mean, listen to the Mob Rules or Heaven and Hell or whatever, or listen to one of the Dio albums. There's something special. Listen to Dio doing stuff live,
Mhm.
because he could hold a note even live.
Yes.
When you went to see him, you know that it was going to be great. If not great, it was awesome. I mean, on a day when he had a bad day, he was still great.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've seen him being freaking awesome. But there's something with his voice that is, I don't know. It's, well,
Yeah.
Children of the Sea. Yeah.
Yeah. Children of the Sea. I mean, it's both mellow and heavy all at the
Oh yeah.
same time. It's got this groove that's just, I don't know, it's awesome. And then when you pair it with Ronnie's vocals,
Yeah.
it's insane.
It is. It
A lot
is.
of blues, man. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
blues, which
Yeah.
is interesting that this era of Sabbath really went all in on the blues, I feel. Not
Yeah.
all in, but they went really, they explored their blues side, I
Yeah.
feel. And this song is a big showcase of that.
And I think
And
it's great. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but because you told me about the really early stuff about Ronnie James. You showed us some clip before the documentary came out, and I got so fascinated because this was in the 50s
yeah.
when Ronnie before Elf and before everything else, and it's you can see that coming in full circle
Mhm.
when he came into to Sabbath, because I know that Tony has a way of for the blues. I mean, he is a bluesy guitar player,
Yeah, yeah.
and he gets to, because you need a guy like Dio if you want to do Sabbath bluesy stuff, wailing and whatnot. And Ozzy is not that kind of singer, so I'm guessing that Tony sits there with his guitar thinking, "Holy crap, we could do this more bluesy stuff."
Yeah.
What a great way to go!
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm listening to this going, "Fuck, you know what would be awesome? To hear Ronnie do some of those old blues songs like Minnie the
Oh,
Moocher
oh my
and all
god!
that stuff that we talked about when we did the Blues Brothers
Yeah,
episode, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
those songs, wouldn't that be awesome to hear,
Oh
like, Ronnie
man,
sings the blues? Like,
damn,
wouldn't that have been awesome to hear? That would have been great.
jeez. My god, that would
That's
oh,
awesome.
that's awesome. That oh my god, I would buy that in a second. But
Oh, 100%, man.
jeez.
I'd buy 2 just in case one broke.
Oh man.
Uh,
Next song, Voodoo.
Voodoo, not to be confused with
Voodoo.
Godsmack's Voodoo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they got a song called Voodoo?
They do.
Oh,
They do. I
didn't
know
know
you're a
that.
big Godsmack fan. We should do Godsmack one of these days.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen them live. Live, it's a completely different ballgame, man. live. Holy crap! I
Yeah.
went to KB here in Malmo, a small club. Jesus Christ! I have to say, I mean, geez, Soliorna keeping
They're
the
one of the
audience.
few bands in the 90s that came out in the 90s that actually
Mhm.
didn't suck. There was as they got a little bit older, I think they ran out of ideas, which is I don't think is why they're doing music anymore. But um, they probably have a good at least half dozen songs that are really good. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I think so
so.
too. But
But
it's great. I don't listen to them on an album. A friend of mine, he introduced me to them and then said, I'll buy some tickets and I'll spot you once and let's go because don't want to go alone." I said, "Okay," and
there you
I had a
go.
great time. I mean, Sally Erna as a singer, fuck me,
Yeah,
Jesus. All right,
Voodoo. So
Voodoo, yeah,
should
deal.
have been left off the record
Oh, for real?
for real.
Oh, why?
It sucks.
Oh,
It's
here we
not
go
like
again.
it's why okay, so why would you choose this song over a song like Die Young?
Oh yeah,
Like Die
oh yeah.
Young's nowhere on here. And why
No,
the fuck would you play this song that sucks donkey balls over a song like Die Young, which is amazing?
sucks
Why?
donkey
I just
balls.
don't
No,
understand it.
no. If when you say it like that, I agree. But I don't think it's a bad song. But it's maybe when okay okay I'm stuck with in my mind. I would like to hear Die Young here.
Yeah, Die Young is one of
No,
my
you destroyed it for me. You ruined it.
You're
Okay,
welcome. See? I speak the
jeez,
truth, man. I speak the truth.
the truth, motherfucker. Jesus. Well, okay. Hmm. Well, I can't disagree right now because I love Die Young.
Yes.
Jesus, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Why isn't that on here? I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Going back to Ozzy era Black Sabbath.
yeah. And on
Yes.
the vinyl, we're on side 2 right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Black
Okay.
Sabbath.
Black
Yeah,
Sabbath.
a good cover song right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got on side 2 here. We could go through them because they're all Sabbath, early Sabbath stuff with Ozzy, Black Sabbath, War Pigs, Iron Man. It's great covers. I
Yeah.
mean, he does them justice, but it's sometimes it's a bit strange to hear his voice because you're so familiar to hearing oh Ozzy go quack if you know what I mean. But it's I mean
He sings Dio sings a little bit different when he's doing these.
yeah
I don't know if he's trying to sound more like Ozzy or less like himself or whatever. I mean, it does show his ability to his range that he can pretty much like you listen to Ronnie and the Red Caps from the 50s and 60s, right? You listen to
yeah
that doo-wop stuff, and then you listen to Sabbath stuff and
yeah
all the
yeah
stuff he did with Elf and Rainbow and everything in between. It's like, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what he was shooting for with this, but I think what struck me with this one, listening to this, because I think this is one of those rare, unlike some of these other ones, this sounded like this is how that song should have been.
yeah.
The way it kicks in. Am I the only one that hears a little bit of Eddie Van Halen esque guitar in the very beginning, like
Ooh.
Sina, like circa Diver Down era?
Well, maybe now that you say it,
And
I
even in
haven't
parts
thought
of the
about
solo, I hear a little bit of Eddie Van Halen kind of style going on in there,
maybe
which is interesting.
maybe. Hmm.
Um, the heavy, and when the heavy kicks in, it just rips your fucking face right off.
Yeah yeah
It does. And then, um, like I was saying, I think this song was made for Ronnie's vocals, and this song, when you get to the end of it, the biggest takeaway I got was, this is the sound of evil. This is the and it also, like, now that I'm thinking about that, it's like, what would have happened if Dio was never in I'm sorry, if Ozzy was never in Sabbath, that they kicked off with Dio. Dio
Yeah.
was the original singer.
Yeah.
It would have
Damn.
been interesting to see what would have happened with Sabbath, because that was incredible. That was
Yeah.
man, better than Ozzy, I think.
Jeez. You really thought this through, man. Jeez. Hmm. I. Hmm. Well, I don't know. Maybe he. The, he is a completely different singer, though, and
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe you're onto something, but
It's an
it's
interesting thought. I
it
think
is it is an
I think
interest. It's a thought, though.
these songs would have been a lot different if they were written with Dio as vocalists. So
Yeah.
would they have been as good remains to be seen,
Yeah.
right? Black Sabbath could be the exception to the rule here, because once we get into War Pigs and Iron Man, the next two tracks, it's a
Yeah.
completely different ball game.
It is.
So just like NIB before, it's so I don't know, man. They'd have to be different songs.
I have to listen to this in my headphones, though. That's what's what I do when I analyze stuff. I
Mm.
didn't do this. I cranked it on my stereo on full throttle. So, but I need to sit down and listen to this because, it's interesting when you say it like that. Well,
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
yeah,
Thoughts.
it's
Thoughts.
yeah,
Hey, let us know what you think. Like, would it
yeah.
have been good if if Black Sabbath started out with Dio instead of Ozzy? Do you think those Sabbath would have been a completely different thing? Do you think Ozzy helped make it more, I'm not going to say mainstream, but get it to a wider audience than maybe Dio would have been? I don't know.
Should we be ready for a shitstorm right now?
Let's be ready for a shitstorm. We're starting shit right now,
We're
man.
starting
We're
shit right
starting
now.
shit. We
Oh
better
my!
move on to War Pigs
Yeah,
before we get into trouble.
I think we're
Yeah,
already in
yeah.
trouble.
I think the generals are gathering in their masses right
Yeah.
now against us,
Oh, there you
just like
go.
witches at black masses.
Oh my God. There's
Evil
no
minds that plot
end to this.
destruction.
Jesus.
Yes.
You're
Again,
hotter than hell, Phil.
yes, I am.
Yeah.
Literally.
Anyways, no pun intended, though.
Yes. Oh, fucking hell.
All right.
But yeah, this is like War Pigs, man. Like, how awesome is this song?
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing with Ozzy.
Yeah.
With Ronnie on vocals, man, I don't think it works.
No.
So what I'm saying, like, if
Yeah,
they
I'm sorry to
started, War
say.
Pigs would have to be different.
Yeah.
As much as I love Dio, his voice is unmatched. It's probably the best vocalist we've ever had in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound right.
No. No. I get you. This is one of my favorite Sabbath songs. So I'm having a
Mhm.
hard time with this one with you on vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know
It's
what you mean.
rough.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Same with Iron Man.
Yeah.
I do love what they did though, how the drums in the beginning,
Oh
they
yeah.
kind of played around with that, and it wasn't
Yeah.
again the traditional. Um, the solo again, not pure, so it takes me out of the song.
Mhm.
Um,
I know what you mean.
that's just kind of me. It just, especially when you've got an odd solo and you've got a different singer, the song just doesn't work. And
No,
again, it's an iconic song, man.
it is. It is. But and it's so strange because when you mentioned this, it's sort of like for me, it's I go, ooh, damn, and I don't want to go there when I listen to because it I I kn- I know they had to do some changes, the drum intro and so forth, how they get into the song and whatnot, but changing the solo.
You can't, especially on
No.
these iconic songs, man. You just
Yeah.
can't fucking do that. You can't. You gotta get them as pure as possible.
Yeah.
You know. But
But maybe I mean 1982, maybe it wasn't that iconic as it is now. I don't know. Is that
I
why
mean,
he
that's a fair
changed?
point. That's a fair point. I mean, 1982 was a long time ago. As much as I
Yeah.
don't want to believe it, it is, because that means I'm that much older. But
Damn.
you're right. I mean, was it? Because I mean, now it's like you got the movie Iron Man, and they're playing the song during the credits and
Yeah.
all that. It's like, okay, it's I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Yeah.
mean neither. Hmm.
But
Moving
now
on.
we get back
Yes.
into Ronnie
Yes.
Dio era Sabbath. The Mob Rules.
Oh yeah. Side 3 on the vinyl record.
Side
Yee-hoo!
3.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, well,
it's the
Ronnie
Mob Rules.
fucking James Dio. It's the Mob Rules. I mean, if you haven't heard the Mob Rules, I mean, shame on you. Shame on the night. Maybe not, but still. Uh,
You know
I,
what? I this doesn't sound like Sabbath to me though. It sounds like Dio solo Dio stuff,
yeah. Yes.
which is interesting. But
I think he had quite the influence on the songwriting process with Tony. And I
mhm.
think that, I mean, Tony got a little carried away when he heard what he could do with a singer like this. And I think that somewhere in his head, Dio had already plotted out what became his solo thing
Mhm.
just some years later, some years down the road. So, I mean, for me, Dio wasn't a guy that did anything by chance. He couldn't afford it. So I think that when he went, because when it's funny when you say it, because I listened to just a couple of days uh, ago on I think it's from I think it's in 1986 and 1987. They do the Mob Rules with the Dio band, and it sounds like
Like
almost like
Sabbath.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's and when you hear Ozzy doing, sorry, when you hear Dio doing, I mean, it's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
a great singer! What a great singer!
Yeah.
I mean, oh, jeez,
Yes. I think anybody that's ever listened to Dio and really, just sat back and listened to him,
yeah,
you have to appreciate how amazingly talented this guy was.
yeah,
Like when they were handing out singing ability, he got in the line 12, 1300 times because
yeah,
he
yeah.
got it, man.
Did I mention that there were some I mean some scientific stuff going around that he had in his rib cage? He missed out some bones in the bottom of his rib cage. We could do that. He could press out his chest even
Oh.
wider, and he could breathe in air on a much bigger scale than and a singer. And he was short too, so it's
Mhm.
there's some I don't know
Yeah.
if it's scientific facts, but it's there's something going on there because
Huh.
I remember seeing the Heaven and Hell tour 2007. And do we know exactly when Dio died? We should know this.
I tend to
Um,
like just put that out of my head and pretend that it didn't happen.
yeah, I know. It's horrible to think about it. Ronnie James Dio. Let me see when he passed away. Real quick, I will Google him. Um, People are going, "What the fuck are you doing right now?" Well, we have to know. It's the fact that we're in the digital age, man. He died in 2010. So,
Mm,
like 3 years later, he was gone.
yeah.
And he was sick for quite a long time. Uh, And I remember seeing him in 2008. He's just got off tour with Heaven and Hell stuff, and then he came back to Malmo and did a thing at KB. I think that was 2008 or 9 or something like that. And the voice was still there, the high notes and everything. Oh man, oh man. I mean, if you haven't listened to, I mean, Black Sabbath with Dio and Dio's original stuff with his own band, my God, right now, leave this fucking podcast and go buy some records. Go to the Svensson Vinyl record store at Krusegatan 23 in Malmo. We can find some Dio stuff, man.
There you go.
Right now.
Yes.
Jesus.
That stuff that he did with Heaven and Hell, the Black Sabbath.
Oh my God.
Fuck Sharon. Anyway, that was some amazing stuff.
Oh yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so fortunate to have seen that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like one of the best concerts I've seen in my life. It's on there in top 10.
Wow.
To be
There you
able
go.
to see them doing this live. Damn.
Yeah. And speaking of Heaven and Hell, that's the next track on this record.
It is.
And I'm pissed about this.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. Who is the dumb fuck that thought splitting this up was a good idea?
Well, I
you
don't
know,
know.
that you know, whoever that is should be forced to listen to Megadeth. The Megadeth cover of the Black Album on repeat on 11 for the rest of their fucking life.
Well, you got to sign it a Southern Cross in between. So there, I mean, it must be the band.
Well, yes and no. Yes, you're correct. They did. The band threw that in there, which that was a bad choice too. It's like leaving Die Young off of this. That was a mistake. But why the fuck did they have to fade it out and then fade it back in?
I don't know.
You know,
that pisses
just let
me
it
off
roll.
too.
Just let it roll, man.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Yeah.
I don't know.
That said, it is a great version of the song.
It is.
Heaven and Hell, again, one of my favorite Dio era. Two of my Die Young and Heaven and Hell, two of the best, in my opinion, Dio era Sabbath songs.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree, 100%.
Like I could listen to those on fucking repeat, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Heaven and Hell, Die Young, and then The Mob Rules.
Yeah. I mean, just anyway, this is a pretty good version. I mean,
Dio,
not only is he a phenomenal vocalist, but he is such a great front man too. He gets the crowd riled. He's just amazing at doing that. And that's what he did here. And, you know, I've been picking on the solos not being pure in this, and this is another example, but for some reason it works for me. It really works.
I hear you. Yeah.
I dig it. Sign of the Southern Cross. You know, again, it could have been left off. It's not a horrible song. No, but it's again, the set list on this is just not. Anyway, Dio does.
I mean, you fucked it up for me because I'm waiting to see Die Young in here.
And it ain't gonna happen.
No, damn.
I don't know about the box set though. If they included it in some of those others in there.
No, I don't think so.
It's all the same shitty set list.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
But I mean, Dio's voice though in the Sign of the Southern Cross, it's just shows you the kind of range he's got. It just shows you his vocal ability. So it's good that it's, you know, they did put it in there for that. Yeah. They did a nice job getting back in to Heaven and Hell, but they just fucked it up. Between the band and the fucking producer of this record, they just dicked it up. And it pisses me off.
Well, I hear you.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and I'm paranoid.
Oh. Yes, you are.
Yes. Is there anything to say about this that we haven't already said about the? I mean,
The
it's
Aussie
not
era.
horrible. It's not the
No,
worst thing in the fucking world, but it's a cover song. It's a
yeah, it
fucking
is.
cover song.
It is.
Yeah. Children of the Grave, another great Sabbath song.
Yeah,
For some reason, whenever I listen to the ending of this, when it gets all fucking weird,
yeah,
I can't help but think of Charles Manson. Like this is something that, like, I don't know, Charles Manson would have fucking like went on a killing spree listening to or something. I don't know. It just gets weird. I don't know.
yeah.
That's just me. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of this one?
Well, I'm torn. I'm torn because I I mean I listened to the old stuff with Ozzy so many times that I agree with you to some extent that it's a great cover song. Um, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think this could have been up there with Black Sabbath, and
Yeah,
it if they wrote it a little bit differently, because the song is dark and Dio's vocals can be dark
yeah,
and deep and powerful, and again, this could have been another, like, okay, that's the sound of evil right there.
yeah, yeah.
But
But I'm so used to hearing Ozzy doing
yeah,
this, and
yeah.
I think it's a great song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
well, I don't know.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like I was saying about the end part, they kind of didn't do that part, and I like that. I get it. It's a
yeah,
live show. It's, you don't necessarily
yeah.
have the time for that, but still, they had time to put fluff on.
I don't know. I can't for the likes of me think about why the hell would they end the show with this one. I just don't know.
I get that it's a tribute, um, but still, like,
N-
again, like, who came up with this set list?
I don't know. Is
Because
this the
it's not.
original set list? I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much was edited out of. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just the overall, I give the record an 8 because it's well done.
Yeah,
It loses points. Most of those points are because of the set list and
yeah,
their fucking up of Heaven and Hell,
yeah.
and not including Die Young, which I guess falls into the set list, but still, yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
looking at a set list from the forum in Inglewood, California, April 15, 1982, and it's the same set list,
Hmm.
which I think is sad.
It is. It is sad.
Hmm. Is that
Hmm. I,
okay?
it's, I don't know. What are you going to do, man? It's like
No,
whoever, I don't know, the manager, Sharon, made that fucking decision. Was
I
she
don't
still
know.
manager at that point?
Oh, I don't know.
I got to
No,
feel like, what?
what,
No, it couldn't
what,
have been.
why would she? I mean, Ozzy
Yeah.
Sabbath.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
and anyway, that is Black Sabbath, Heaven. I'm sorry, Live Evil, not
Live
Heaven and
Evil,
Hell. Live
Live Evil,
Evil. That was the
Evil.
sound of evil sometimes, not
Oh yeah,
always, especially
yes.
not with fluff. Too much fluff on that record. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all in all, it's a great record. I agree with you. 8 out of 10. If you see our ugly faces on YouTube, I'm holding up the record right now, and it's actually quite hard to get an original copy at the moment. I don't know why. Look at this. It's this beauty stuff right here.
Beautiful.
I'm
It's
showing the
beautiful.
gatefold. If you only listen to the audio, I'm showing the gatefold right now. Head over onto YouTube and check it out. BoozeHound.
You know what we got to do? We got to start.
No?
Okay, whenever we do these shows, you guys got to put the record on in the background and listen to the record and us at the same time,
Yes.
because that way you get the feel for it. Even
Yeah.
recording it now without being able to listen to it while we're talking about it, it's kind of like, it'd be great just to pop that record on, man, and
Yeah.
just talk about it. Grab
Yeah,
a
I agree.
whiskey and just make it happen.
Yeah. And
But we can't do that because
no.
fucking copyright law.
Yeah. And I have to say this, if you haven't checked out Dio stuff before, go check out the Sabbath stuff, Rainbow stuff, and foremost, go check out his solo stuff that he did with Holy Diver, Lasting Line. I mean, damn, that's some good stuff right there.
I'd say you also got to listen to Ronnie and the Redcaps.
You
You got to go on YouTube and go search for Ronnie and the Redcaps.
Yeah.
It's not on any streaming platform or anything, and I don't know if vinyl even exists of that stuff anywhere. But yeah, you got to go check that out, because it's interesting to hear Dio sing like that.
Yeah, it is.
And you can hear a little bit of that in this Live Evils. So that's what I'm saying. Dio is very consistent throughout his career in his voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And that's it. That's it for this week, man. We're
Oh, yeah.
freaking done.
Yeah.
We
are.
beat this thing to whatever.
A pulp.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know.
Anyway,
listen to some music, man.
Yes, and get some merch. We got merch up on the store now. It's been a couple minutes since I was able to get that up there, but go make it happen. Go to sonsonvinyl.com. You can go check out Mike's record store, or you can go check out the podcast, click on podcast, and from there you can get merch. Same thing. If you've got something to say, if you disagree with our take on Ozzy era Dio singing it, leave us a message there. Same thing.
All right.
And with that, later.
Later.